We're back to the Beach Lifestyle Show on the Total Tutors Show on the Total Education Network. TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley. Facebook, simplyg.com to join the 90-day challenge and GJ Reynolds. So I want to welcome the program. It's been a long overdue to have him back on the show. I think he's been doing a lot of we're doing a celebrity segment, and he's been doing a lot since then. I want to welcome back to the program co-host. I don't know where my co-host has been for a while. GJ Reynolds. GJ, how are you?
Doing fantastic, Neil, and I've just been living the beach lifestyle. So that's what we teach. So I might as well be living it if I'm going to teach it, right?
Exactly. When you're talking about the summer, that's the time. That's the time that you pretty much can take certain breaks. Now we're ready for the school year, and when our listeners are back to school, and great discussion. And I understand we have a fantastic guest today. Can you introduce her, GJ?
Well, since we're talking beach lifestyle, we might as well get to you. What do you think of when you're beach? You're hanging out at the beach, and you also think of swimming. So today we had Olympian swimmer, and she was part of the 2012 U.S. Olympic team. She specializes in the 100-meter freestyle. She's won 15 gold, silver, and bronze medals in international competition, so she's definitely proven, and she's done a great job representing our country, and now she's representing a swimming calendar, which we're going to talk a little more about. Please welcome to the show, Kate Ziegler. How are you doing, Kate?
I am great. Thanks so much for having me on today, guys.
Oh, we're excited to talk to you, and specifically enough to see specifically to be part of that 2012 Olympic team must have been an unbelievable honor, wasn't it, Kate?
Oh, it's such an honor. I'm always proud to represent my country, especially at the biggest sporting event in the world. It was the greatest honor.
All right, so why the calendar? I mean, after the season's over, you're kind of already probably gearing up for 2014 and then 2016. Why the calendar?
You know what? The calendar is really about giving back to the sport. The idea of the calendar was started by Beth Green Twiddle and Eric Knight and Andrew Day. They came up with this concept of a way to grow the sport by getting the word about swimming out to people who may never hear about it, may never hear the stories of the athletes besides just a couple featured at the Olympics every 4 years, to help athletes with funding so that, swimming is not like basketball or football where there's tons and tons of money. We're trying to fund our training and our travels to compete at international competitions, and then to really give back and inspire the youth of the sport. And so that's the idea behind the calendar, and that's why we're a part of it and why I'm a part of it.
Quite interesting. GJ, go ahead.
So Kate, so what specific organization is it, and where can they find information about the calendar and the organization?
Yes, to all your listeners, if you'd like to go to www.swimmercalendar.com, you can order the calendar, and the calendar is on sale for $20.16. And it was designed by Day and Night Productions. And also, we collaborated with Innova Donor Services, blood donating, to spread the word about the importance of donating blood. So that is kind of the theme of this calendar. Also is giving blood, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into training for the Olympic Games.
So tell us a little bit about the shoot. Was it a little different than your normal shoot, I guess, for just your pictures for the swimmer? It's a different type of thing, isn't it, the calendar?
It is a different type. So many calendars that are out there for swimming are about just the swimmers themselves, in cap and goggles, no makeup, just the kind of raw side of training in the sport. But what we wanted to do in this calendar is look at the kind of the other side of the athlete. What goes into training? Who are these athletes once they step outside of the pool? What do we like to do? One of my shots, it was done in a Pilates studio and a yoga studio, and that's something that I'm really passionate about, is about health and balance and kind of a holistic approach to wellness. And so that's what we did in mine. Another one is we have Joe Pascal, who is an MMA fighter, and so his shots are both in the pool and in a gym, showcasing his kind of the two sides of him as an athlete. So the shoot was so much fun to do, to get a little glamorous, to get our hair and makeup done, to step outside of the normal cap and goggles and a swimsuit that you see us in, at the Olympic Games, and to see the different sides of the athletes.
Well, absolutely, GJ, and it's very interesting when Kate's talking about this, about having those types of shoots. They're pretty grueling, aren't they, GJ, when you get those professional photos done as well, as you were talking about today you were doing?
Well, I actually did have one side to relate. Obviously, it's not on the same scale as yours, probably, with me and my wife, and so I definitely had a lot of smiling, so I feel like the Joker with the permanent smile. So anyway, I've been on your website, swimmercalendar.com, as Kate said earlier, and I've gone through there, and one of the things I like about it, you touched upon, is, you get a little backstory about, you find a little bit more about each athlete, in addition to what they, perform in the sport. So I think that's a great call on y'all's part, and it gives a little more of the humanistic side. So what's the ultimate goal for the calendar, and then also what's the ultimate goal for you, from this day forward?
Well, for the calendar, as you'll see if you go on to swimmercalendar.com, it is about growing the sport, helping the athletes, and giving back. And so our hope is that people who maybe have never heard about or read about swimmers, like you said, there are the in-depth profiles of each of the athletes featured in the 12 months. Maybe they'll learn a little bit about the athletes, follow swimming in the future. Hopefully young athletes, young swimmers, and athletes of all sports are inspired by the stories and are inspired to go reach for their dreams, and then hopefully to get some added funding for the athletes training for the next Olympic Games and future international competitions. As for me personally, I'm taking a break from swimming currently to pursue other ventures and to work on giving back to the sport, because after all, when I leave the sport, I don't want to just be remembered for the medals I've won and the records I've broken. I'd really like to leave an impression on kids, to inspire them, and to teach them lessons that hopefully will help them to reach their dreams. So I leave the option open of going to the 2016 Games, but for now I'm focusing more on getting that, still staying involved in the sport, but in a different capacity.
Are you thinking of being involved in the foundation, Kate, by working with all these kids to keep the sport alive?
Yes, I'm very interested in that, and just giving back in any way I can. I actually just had the honor of running a swim camp on a military base for some athletes, some swimmers in Spain. So, all these different opportunities, any way I can, in any part of the world I can, that I can get back and inspire the kids and connect with them, is really exciting for me.
Part of GJ's Mission G is absolutely helping children, especially fight childhood obesity, GJ, and you're really on the forefront to looking at specifically ways. So you can explain a little bit to Kate, and maybe Kate could be part of helping out what you're doing at Mission G.
Well, several things that we do. One is obviously focus on, children being healthier, and obviously obesity is becoming a major epidemic, and a lot of it is, obviously poor diet, and then, poor exercise. And, I grew up, we had mandatory PE every day, and now they have it a couple times a week, and some schools I found out don't even have it at all. So it's pretty sad, and I can see how where kids are not as exposed to some sports unless their parents are, having them be involved. And so there's definitely a void that's going on. So, that's part of what we're focused on. And then we're focused on feeding kids in a healthy standpoint. We got great products. And so that's part of what the Mission G, MissionG.org foundation is all about. And, so you're doing a great thing. And, one thing that's real common to a lot of the athletes and celebrities that we have on is, they've been given a platform. They have excelled at the platform at the highest levels, and then they realize, hey, here's how I got here. Here's my platform. I'm able to give back, and obviously you're doing that, and so I applaud you for doing that and being passionate about helping others, and that's really part of what this show is, helping people achieve more and be more, and you're living it and you're assisting others to do it. So congratulations.
Thank you, and I applaud you too on your mission and your foundation. It sounds like an incredible organization that you have going, and I'd love to find out more, because just like you said, helping kids fight childhood obesity, become more active, be healthier, and learn lessons that they can carry with them for the rest of their lives is so important. And yes, swimming is the vehicle through which I hope to do much, much greater things than just, I had my athletic success, which I'm so proud of, but I hope to give even more back to not just swimmers, but to athletes, to kids, to people of all ages.
So, Kate, what is your ultimate goal in your career now? When you do finally retire from swimming, what will be life after swimming? What do you see? What do you picture?
To be honest with you, the picture is not clear yet. However, I've considered getting my PhD in psychology. I know for a fact, though, that whatever it is, as I've already said, it's going to be involving giving back. I'm very passionate about health, nutrition, having a healthy, holistic approach to life in mind, body, spirit, and finding that way to give back to people and to help others will be a part of whatever I do in the future.
Well, fantastic. And GJ has this $1 million question he asks all the time. What's the question, G?
Well, so what's your 90-day challenge? So, our focus is typically on, 90-day health challenge, and, what we ask every guest, what's your 90-day challenge? What would you like to accomplish over the next 90 days? And how can our listeners, help you accomplish that?
In the next 90 days, what would I like to do? Well, in the next 90 days, since stopping swimming, I have started, I still swim some, but I am building up to running and considering doing a half marathon. So in the next 90 days, I suppose building up to that, not running a half marathon, but, building up and looking for new ways to stay active and to take a new approach to health. So any ideas that you have for new ways to exercise and to build up to running a half marathon, that could, in the next 90 days, that would be great.
Well, one thing that comes to mind for me is you could be like that lady that swam to Cuba.
Oh, dear. Diane and I, I think that's I'll leave that to her.
That's what I said. I said, man, God bless her. That's just shows anything's possible. And always set a big goal. So, you're on track and you're doing a great job. And let's definitely stay in touch. And I know you're going in the right direction for you. And we would love to be more involved in how we can help you. And we'll definitely get our community involved and our listeners involved. And so you're welcome. And
I will say, one other goal I would say in the next 90 days is to, as many of your listeners as possible who are interested in supporting swimming, supporting these athletes, go to swimmercalendar.com and check that out. And let's see how many people we can get signing up and ordering calendars.
Well, we're going to have more of the athletes from the calendar on the show, so it was great to start with you, Kate, and best of luck in all your career, and look forward to touching base to see how we can help each other out. So thanks again for calling, Kate.
Absolutely. Thank you for the honor. Have a great day.
All right, take care. You're listening to the Total Tutor Show Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment, and we'll be back in just a moment.